Hello, this is a review, sort of, I suppose, sort of a second part of a two-part review of the Game of Thrones, the board game that was released in 2011, and we've just got hold of the expansion. It's been a long time coming, but we've got hold of the expansion, the Mother of Dragons. This adds quite a bit of stuff, and it takes it up to 8 players. Oh, I think I've just been sick in my mouth.
Board Games 4K.
Okay, so the Mother of Dragons expansion, it's only just come out. It's been 6-7 year wait for this one, and yeah, it adds quite a bit of stuff. So let's see how this expansion changes the game. What does it add to a game? Well, first things first, it adds another faction to the board, another house. It adds the Targaryen house, and it comes with its own faction deck of cards, house deck of cards. It comes with its own new purple player pieces, and you've got dragons in this house that you can use. And these dragons, they're represented by the sort of, the marble looking miniatures. And yeah, one of the things that these dragons can do, they can fly anywhere on the map and attack anywhere they want. But you can't fly and retreat, I don't think. Anyway, yeah, they can fly anywhere, and what they do over the course of the game, they get stronger and stronger. So I suppose, following the book, they're born at the beginning of the game, and then on every 2 rounds, they gain strength. So each dragon can have a maximum of 5 strength, right? And they gain 1 strength every 2 rounds. So at the end of the game, in the 10th round, you could technically have 3 dragons that have got 15 attack strength, which is kind of like, I don't know, it's a bit like Vladimir Putin and his dead man's hand, right? But yeah, that's one of the things. And yeah, and the Targaryen faction, they don't win by a normal method. They've got their own specific victory conditions, and what they do is they've got a 4th Westeros deck. So you draw that after all the other ones, and then it tells you you get these little influence tokens that tells you where to put them. And if the Targaryen faction control those regions, then they take the loyalty token off the board. When they've got 7 of those, then they win the game. So yeah, it really does sort of changes things up. That does. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, another thing that's sort of, I suppose it's like, well, it is an asymmetrical faction, because they don't, even though they can still bid on the dominance tracks, the Iron Throne and the Fiefdom and the other one that I can never remember the name of, they can bid on it to affect the order, but they are always in 8th place. And even though they're on 8th place, they still have the use of 3 of these special order tokens. So that sort of, yeah, that does sort of work quite well, I think. So the second thing that is unique to this expansion is you get a second board, you get a sideboard, and it's the Essos board. And yeah, you stick that on the east side of the board, and it works. The way it works is that the sea regions on that side of the Essos board are adjacent to the sea regions on the east side of the board, so you can cross over as you would normally. And what it does, the Targaryens start on the Essos board, and it kind of neuters their strength, and also introduces the concept of the Iron Bank. So at the top of the Essos board, you've got 3 spaces for cards, and you start off with 1 card in the furthest space, and you can buy it for 7, I think it's 7.5, or is it 1 or 2? I can't remember. You pay power tokens by you can buy the loan cards from the Iron Bank, and they give you certain favours, but if you use them, you turn them over, and then at the beginning of every round, you've got to pay 1 power token for every card that you have. And the way that you bid on the Iron Bank, the way that you take a loan from the Iron Bank, is you're given these extra command tokens that can only be used in sea spaces. They've got like a blue sort of tinge to them, and yeah, you can play them. And one of them's got like a load of gold coins on, and that allows you then to access the Iron Bank. But obviously, if you don't pay back the loan, then one of the other players, I think it's the one with the Iron Throne token, can destroy some of your units. So it's a nice sort of give and take there with the Iron Bank. Yeah, you know, a really pretty good one that is. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple of extra little bits of little tokens that you have to stick on the board, so they replace, like, I think it's in the area or something, and another region. You put them on there to balance things out, so that things aren't that unbalanced, so to speak. And speaking of balance, well, what a lot of people would call the problem with the first game is I wouldn't say it's been completely fixed, but it's been, how do you put it? It's been reduced. That problem with the empty areas, where if you're playing with less than 6 players in the original game without the expansion, then you've got those regions that basically don't do anything. You can take them over and everything, but they basically don't do anything. Well, that's the problem with that has been reduced in this game through the vassal system. So you have to play, if you're playing without House Targaryen, then you play with all the other factions. But if you're playing with House Targaryen, you play with all 8. So what happens is the factions that you're not playing with, that aren't controlled by human players, become vassal states. At the beginning of the round, the person who's at the top of the Iron Throne track will get to choose a vassal state that they control, and they're very the power of these vassals are reduced. But you can only muster on your muster troops on your home region, and you can only have 2 order tokens. But they're greatly reduced. But there's an attempt to try and fix that problem. So yeah, a couple of minor things they've introduced. The Iron Bank loan cards introduced degradation and an improvement of the supply of the castle tokens, and also the consolidated power. So you either flip them to the degraded side or the improved side, depending on what the Iron Bank cards give you. Yeah, one of the things that you can do now is you can gift power tokens to anyone at any time. So yeah, really sort of ramps up the negotiation aspect of this game. So yeah, let's have a think about what we do like about this game. Yeah, so as we've already said, it adds another faction to the game, and yeah, it's a welcome thing. It ramps up. It's an asymmetrical sort of thing now, so it gives the other players, if you're not the House Targaryen, it gives the other players something to worry about, like an emerging threat on the east side of the board. So yeah, the fact that this faction starts out quite weak, and it gradually gathers momentum as the game progresses. It's yes, it's all too easy to sort of if you take your eye off the Targaryens, then, you know, before you know it, you've got dragons flying around, you know, launching nukes at you, and yeah, so it gives you something to keep your eye on, but also means that you're going to take you might take your eye off the board, you know. So it's just another thing to think about, and that's quite clever. We quite enjoy that bit. So we really like the Iron Bank mechanism as well. I mean, it gives you sort of a few bonuses, and the fact, you know, it's one of them sort of if nobody takes it, you slide it down, and then it disappears off the board. So it starts off at 7 power tokens, and these things gradually get cheaper. So do you take it while it's expensive, or do you risk waiting for maybe another player will take it? And yeah, if you're in control of, forgot to mention, if you're in control of, is it Braavos, I think, or something? Then if you get control of that, then you get a 1 power token discount on those cards. And obviously, because the Targaryens start near there, they get first dibs on whether they get out there and they take it. So yeah, the Iron Bank, it's a good addition. It's a good addition to the game, because you have to pay up front, but then you've got to pay interest on it as well. So it's an ongoing thing, and there's no way you can get rid of that. There's no way to get rid of paying out on the interest on that loan from the Iron Bank, and that's quite novel, because that was used in the later seasons of the TV show. So yeah, it's quite thematic and it works really well. I mean, like, so far as the vassals go, I mean, it goes some way to it doesn't eliminate the problem with the original game. It reduces the problem. Sort of a case of it giveth and it taketh away at the same time. So, like we said, the problem with the original game was that if you play with less than 6 players, then you had all these empty areas, and a lot of the board was never used. And what they've tried to do, they've tried to address that by forcing you to use the other houses. But in doing so, they've eliminated the problem with the empty parts of the board, but they've added a problem where you've got to use everything now, and it not only does it increase the complexity kind of the game, it increases the length of the game, and it makes it even more fiddly, you know, because you might have to take control of your own house and multiple other vassal states, you know, because if everyone passes, the person who's in last position on the track has to take all the vassal states. And if you're playing with like 4 players or something, that would just be an absolute bloody nightmare. So yeah, I mean, I would always probably play. Well, would I play? No, I don't know. I don't even know if I don't know. I'm torn on this one. I don't know if it doesn't fix the problem. If anyone tells you that this expansion fixes the problem with the original game, it doesn't. It reduces the problem, but it introduces other problems, you know, because the game was already long enough. Why do we want to play this game for 6 hours as opposed to 5? I mean, that's like sort of, I don't know, stabbing yourself in the heart twice, right? So we've already spoken, you know, so I suppose we better get on to what we don't like about this game. Because we've already spoken about how the expansion is meant to fix this problem with the original game, which it doesn't fix. We've said about that. So the sideboard, I mean, it's a pain in the arse. It really is. I mean, because where it's only on one side of the board, if you're sitting on that side of the table, you've got to reach over this extra board. You've got to reach over it, and then you've got the fiddliness of the original game with other stuff in there as well. I mean, it drives me nuts. It's just, you know, why? I mean, it's welcome, but I don't know how else they could have done it. I don't know. I suppose what they should have done is made a 3rd edition. Instead of releasing this as an expansion, they should have just scrapped, because maybe it's about time, they should have scrapped the original, the 2nd edition, and made a 3rd edition and incorporated this region in a new map and reduced the size of the board all in all, you know, because like I said, reaching over this extra board, it does made in, and you know, you got extra setup time and all this extra gumph that's going in there, and I don't know. You know, one of the other things that we don't like about this game is the problem with the ports. It's not fixed. It didn't bother to fix the problem with the ports. I mean, the fact that it's so unclear, and every time I drag this out, I've got to rebrief myself on what the ports do. I mean, it's unacceptable, really. I mean, I might sound like I'm moaning about this, but you know, that was one of the major gripes. If there's one gripe that I really couldn't put up with, is trying to get your head around the stupid, pathetic little rules to do with ports. You know, can you move this in here? Can you attack from the sea onto land and vice versa? Can I muster? Oh no, they didn't fix it. They didn't fix it. But yeah, it's not been fixed, and that's just one of the problems I'm going to have to live with. So in summary for this one, should you buy this expansion? And I think if you've got the original game, then I think you probably will have to go and get this one, because you know, like we said, to keep saying it, one of the major problems with the original 2nd edition was that you had a lot of the empty boards and that. And if you really didn't like that, then you've got to go out and get this, because that will fix it for you. But it didn't fix it for me, but that's just my personal opinion. They give you an extra board, and yeah, I don't know, it's just, if you're on the west side of the table, you've got to reach over, and it's, you know, it's a pain in the neck. It all depends how much you like this game. I mean, if you've got it and you want to bring it out even more, if you want to bring it out more, I don't think this expansion fixes that problem. It's not gonna allow you to bring out this game any more than you already are, because it makes it bigger, it makes it more bloated, and hasn't streamlined the game at all. They should have made a 3rd edition and added this expansion into a 3rd edition. But as it stands, we're not going to get that, and it is what it is. So if if you like these big massive epic games like Twilight Imperium, or you've expanded your Eclipse New Dawn of the Galaxy game to the max, then I would recommend it. But if you like games like Ticket to Ride and you know, the Race to El Dorado and all those sorts of things, and you know, don't bother getting it. You know, if burn your copy of a Game of Thrones, a board game, because this is not going to be on your Christmas card list, and it will not flush down your toilet. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more board game reviews, and you want to see like tutorials, want to see those boring unboxing videos, then please like and subscribe. Give us some comments down below, not down below. Yeah, we'll see you next time.